Scorched to Lindor. What a play!
That was incredible.
What a play by Lindor!
Boy, that's just unbelievable. Do or die.
Wow!
What a spectacular defensive play by Francisco Lindor.
What a backhanded pick! Are you kidding me? That was a straight vacuum.
Where does Trea Turner land in the top 10 shortstops entering 2020? What is going on, guys? My name is Brett. Today in this video, I'm going to bring you the top 10 shortstops entering 2020. This is fantasy baseball rankings. I want you in the comment section down below, rate me your list of the top 10 shortstops from number 1 through number 10 and compare my list to yours. Let's see if we do have the same players, and let's see if we do have the same order. So it's kind of fun. It's fantasy baseball rankings 2020 for the top 10 shortstops. So if you're new around here, subscribe, hit that notification bell. This way you can receive my videos. Make sure you do leave a like. And if you see back there, those are my t-shirts. If you want one, the link will be in the description below. And other than that, let's go straight into this top 10 ranking of the top 10 shortstops in Major League Baseball. So starting off my top 10 list, Manny Machado. Last season played 156 games, drove in 32 home runs, batted 85 RBIs. His batting average was .256, which is kind of low for his usual norms, and his OPS plus was 109. So last season was a down season for him, so he is a bounce back candidate because his usual norms, he's usually around like 300 batting average. There was a couple of seasons that he wasn't, like 2017 he was 259, but everything else is usually around 300 batting average. Maybe because he's going from the American League to the National League, but he was with the LA Dodgers for 66 games prior to 2019. So he does have a little bit more experience. Now he does have a year under his belt with San Diego Padres, but the ballpark is much bigger than Camden Yards. He has to get used to the National League, those pitchers, the ballpark's a little bit bigger. But I do expect Manny Machado to bounce back. His usual norms around 35 home runs, RBIs are about the same. It's going to be a little bit higher than 85 RBIs. His average draft position right now is number 41. So he's going late in the 4th round, early in the 5th round. It's a little high for him, but he can be a bounce back candidate. If he's like later on the 5th round or in the 6th round, I might consider it. But right now, Manny Machado is a bounce back candidate, and I do expect him to increase those numbers. It all depends on Tatis Jr.'s health. Like for example, when Tatis Jr. got hurt, Manny Machado's numbers decreased a lot. His batting average was like within like a 226, 227 during that time frame. His numbers did decrease during that time frame. So he is a bounce back candidate, but it all depends on Tatis Jr. So number 10 is going to be Manny Machado. So speaking of Tatis Jr., number 9, Fernando Tatis Jr. Last season was his first season. He played 84 games, so half the season. Batted 22 home runs, 53 RBIs, stolen bases 16, batting average 317, OPS plus was really high, 152, and he was 3rd in Rookie of the Year. So Fernando Tatis Jr., the question is he going to stay healthy? And how does he relate in a sophomore season? Because last season he played 84 games. So realistically, you can double his numbers and probably project what he's going to do. So do I expect him to hit 40-something home runs? 100-something RBIs. He does have that potential, but I don't really necessarily think so. His ceiling is sky high, but can he stay healthy? I think he did get called up late, so I don't know how many games that he did miss. I didn't do that research. His ceiling is very sky high, but the question is, can he stay healthy? But the problem is that ballpark, it is a pitcher's ballpark. So right now his average draft position is number 38.1, so that means he's going in the 4th round, late in the 4th round, ahead of his teammate Manny Machado. And I would prefer Tatis Jr. over Manny Machado, even though he has injury-prone history. It's only been one season though, but I do expect Tatis Jr. to rise to the top. He does have a chance to be a top 5, but right now I'm going to put him as number 9 just because of the injury-prone. So right now, number 9, Fernando Tatis Jr. So number 8, Javier Baez. Javier Baez last season played 138 games, drove in 29 home runs, 85 RBIs. His batting average was 281, OPS plus 113, and he was an all-star. So I want to note that in 2018, he played 160 games, drove in 111 RBIs, led the league, and he was second MVP and it was a Silver Slugger Award. So Javier Baez is still a top-notch shortstop, but the question is, so last season he didn't miss the entire month of September. Javier Baez is definitely a top 10 shortstop because he's in the 84th percentile average exit velocity, 86th percentile sprint speed, but he does have a high strikeout percentage, but he does have a 5% walk rate. So he can be in the top 20 overall player. He can improve the ladder as long as it stays healthy, because in 2018 he played 160 games. 2019 he only played 138 games. So you can probably add like another 5 more home runs, probably 10 more RBIs. Batting average is probably going to increase a little bit more. So you do expect Javier Baez to bounce back because that lineup is still good. You still have Chris Bryant, you still have Anthony Rizzo, you still have Schwarber. So the lineup is still very good, and I still expect Javier Baez to have a good season. He might bounce back, but he can be in the top 5. Like I said, his average draft position is number 32, so it's perfect for him. He's in the 4th round, high 4th round for shortstop. So what I like about Javier Baez, he plays shortstop, second base, and third base. So you can move him around in your lineup, but you can play shortstop, second base, and also third base. So number 8, Javier Baez. So number 7, Marcus Semien. So last season he played 162 games, had 747 plate appearances, so he did lead the league in that. Drove in 33 home runs, 92 RBIs, 285 batting average, OPS plus 138, and he was third in MVP. So last season, Marcus Semien did break out. He didn't do anything like this before, and all of a sudden he just broke out. So do I expect him to repeat these same numbers? Maybe, but he's very underrated right now. He's very underrated. So his average draft position right now is number 63. So he's getting drafted in the 7th round. Marcus Semien right now, so last season was his best season. So he batted with the 84.5 contact rate, which is a career high for him. But the last 52 games, he drove in 16 home runs with batting average of .313. So that's probably why he got so many MVP votes. That's probably why he got ahead of DJ LeMahieu. Marcus Semien, he's going to be a great player. He's very underrated. For a 7th round pick, that's very good for him. If he was going much higher than that, I would say no way, because you don't know if he's going to repeat these same numbers. So I do expect him to have a great pop. I do expect him to probably be like around 80% of these numbers, by like 25 to 30 home runs, probably 70 to 90 RBIs. So I do expect Marcus Semien to repeat these same numbers. The lineup is very good. The ballpark does not play well for hitters though, but he does have a good pop, like I said. Marcus Semien is going to be number 7. So number 6, Gleyber Torres. If you did watch my top 10 second baseman video, Gleyber Torres didn't make that list, so he's going to make the list again in the top 10 shortstops as well. So last season he played 144 games, drove in 38 home runs, 90 RBIs, batted .278 OPS plus 128. He was an all-star. He was 17th in MVP. So right now I do expect Gleyber Torres to be an MVP candidate because he's going to be the most healthiest player in the Yankees lineup. And that lineup is so deep. You already know Judge, Stanton, maybe Sanchez might get hurt as well. Those players are going to be hurt. But Gleyber Torres, he's going to be in the lineup for majority of the games. He's going to anchor the shortstop position. He's going to have a little eligibility second base, depending how long he does have that eligibility for. But Gleyber Torres, I'm calling right now, he's going to have an MVP candidate season. So his average draft position is number 34.7. So he's going as a 4th round, which is perfect for him because you can put him as a shortstop and you can put him as second base. So last season, if you're a Baltimore Orioles fan, you're gonna probably draft Gleyber Torres as number 1. Because last season he went off against Baltimore. I know their pitching staff is awful. Out of his 38 home runs, 13 came from Baltimore. I mean, if you're a Baltimore Orioles fan and you see Gleyber Torres, how can you not draft him as number 1 over Mike Trout just because of those stats? Because he went off against Baltimore. Is he going to repeat 13 home runs against Baltimore again? I don't think so. If you're a Baltimore Orioles fan, you probably have to draft him number 1 just because of that reason. So like I said, Gleyber Torres, he's going to have a great season. I do expect him to repeat those same numbers, and he's going to be a top 10 shortstop and also a top 10 second baseman for you. And if he's there, you got to pick him up unless it's like someone better. But number 6 is going to be Gleyber Torres. So starting the top 5, Xander Bogaerts, he went off last season. Last season he played 155 games, drove in 33 home runs, 117 RBIs, batted .309, OPS plus 140. He was an all-star, he was 5th at MVP, and he won the Silver Slugger Award. So last season I did draft him. I drafted him over Cody Bellinger, and we all know how that went, but Xander Bogaerts went off last season. I don't necessarily think he's going to have the same numbers as last season because the obvious reason Mookie Betts is not there anymore. But if you remember from my last video, I did say hit a lot of doubles, over 45 to 50 doubles. It does correlate to the next season for more home runs. So you look at 2018, he had 45 doubles, drove in 23 home runs. 2019, 52 doubles, 33 home runs. So he does have a lot of pop. It is Fenway Park, so it is off the green monster, so you're gonna get a lot of doubles off the green monster. So I do expect Xander Bogaerts to be like 90% of his player what he was last season, because Xander Bogaerts is very underrated. He should be in the top 5 in shortstops, and his average draft position right now is 33, so he's going in the early 4th round ahead of Gleyber Torres. And I have a choice between Xander Bogaerts or Gleyber Torres. Man, that's a tough decision. I'm going to give the slight edge to Bogaerts just because he does have that upside. Xander Bogaerts has the batting average over Torres. It is going to have more RBIs. Maybe like around like 100 to 105. He's not going to have 117 like I said because Mookie Betts is not in that lineup anymore. But he does have 190 hits. He went up from 148 hits to 190. He did have that drastic improvement. So I do expect Bogaerts to have a good season next season, and if he's there and you don't have a shortstop by now, you should pick him up. Even though shortstops are kind of deep, the 7th overall up, you should have a shortstop. Anything lower than that, you should start like panicking getting a shortstop like Tatis Jr. or Machado or Baez. So number 5, Xander Bogaerts. Number 4, Trea Turner. Last season, he only played 122 games, drove in 19 home runs, 57 RBIs, but did steal 35 stolen bases. Batted .298, OPS plus 113. So the thing with Trea Turner, he's very injury prone, but he does give you the high batting average and also steals a lot of bases for you. He is a top 5 shortstop. His average draft position is 16, so he's going in the 2nd round, which is kind of high. If you do have a category league, you should consider picking him up because stolen bases are a premium. They're very hard to get. If you're in a category league, I would definitely consider. If you're in a points league, you can pick up somebody else because stolen bases are not like the top thing for points league. They're mainly for category leagues and rotatory leagues. Trea Turner last season, his last 53 games, batted .316. So he does have the potential to be a very good player. He does have the potential to be a very good player. His batting average is going to be really high. He's going to steal a lot of bases for you. He's going to get a lot of hits. He's going to get a lot of runs. But the problem is he's not great for points. He does have a history of being injury prone, so you do have to be careful about that. But over the years, he's usually in the top 1 or 2 rounds. If he, like I said, if it's a category league, definitely pick him up. If it's not, I wouldn't consider it. So number 4, Trea Turner. So number 3, Trevor Story. Last season he played 145 games, 35 home runs, 85 RBIs, batted .294, OPS plus 118. He was an all-star, he was 12th in MVP, and he won the Silver Slugger Award. What I like about Trevor Story, he's very underrated for his value because back-to-back seasons, 37 home runs, 108 RBIs in 2018. In 2019, 35 home runs, 85 RBIs. You do expect the high batting average around the 290s. So last season, he does have the Coors Field effect. He does phenomenal Coors Field. On the road, he's not as much, but he's very undervalued. He is a 2nd rounder. His average draft position is number 19. He's going late in the 2nd round, early to the 3rd round. Trevor Story, if he's there, I would definitely consider him. He's great for points and he's great for stolen bases as well. He's going to steal you 23 stolen bases. 2018 it was 27. 2019 it was 23. So he does have the potential to give you the high home runs, the high RBIs, high batting average, a decent amount of stolen bases, and he's going to provide you a good amount of power in that lineup because Colorado Rockies, so let's be honest, anybody that goes there for the majority of the part, especially the lineup is very good. You have Arenado, you have Blackmon, you have Trevor Story. So that lineup is going to be good. That ballpark is great for hitters. And number 3 is going to be Trevor Story. So number 2, Alex Bregman. So if you did watch my top 10 third baseman video, I did put Alex Bregman in my top 10 third base as well. So he's going to be a top 10 third baseman and also a top 10 shortstop. He does have that shortstop eligibility. I'm not entirely sure how long he's going to have that eligibility, but if he does, he's going to be a top 10 shortstop and also a top 10 third baseman as well. So number 2 is going to be Alex Bregman. Last season he played 156 games, drove in 41 home runs, 112 RBIs, walked 119. That's really high. His OPS plus was 162. He was an all-star. He was second in MVP, and he was a Silver Slugger award. So I really like Alex Bregman, but the only problem is, I did say in my top 10 third baseman video as well, is because of the sign stealing, because of the banging. How is he gonna play regarding the sign stealing and the banging? Are the Astros gonna continue cheating? Or he's going to have the right mindset and the right mentality. All these road games that everyone booing him and calling him every single name in the book. How is he going to react to that? Is he going to produce the same numbers? I do expect to produce the same numbers. It might be a little less. Maybe the home run power went up. He was a perfect example when I say that when you hit a lot of doubles the next year, he's going to have a lot of home runs. Because 2018 he hit 51 doubles, and the following season he rose his home run total by 10. So he is a perfect example. When you hit more doubles, the next year you do hit more home runs. But like I said, the problem with Alex Bregman, how is he going to handle the sign stealing and also the banging from the Houston Astros? Because we all know he's a great player. Can he stay positive and still hit all these home runs, all these doubles, and be clutch, even though a lot of people are going to be booing him, a lot of people are going to be calling him names throughout the entire stadium? It used to be how the most hated team was the Yankees, and everyone just hated the Yankees, but now the most hated team is the Houston Astros. Everyone hates the Astros unless you are a fan of them. Bregman going to repeat these same numbers and also have the same mentality, the right mindset when producing these same numbers. So number 2 is going to be Alex Bregman. So your winner, Francisco Lindor, Mr. Smiley. So last season he played 143 games, drove in 32 home runs, 74 RBIs, 22 stolen bases, batting average 284, OPS plus 118. He was an all-star. He was 15th in MVP, and he won the Gold Glove. So Francisco Lindor is your best overall shortstop available, because over the past 5 seasons, he's been a top-tier shortstop, driving in over 30 home runs, over 80 RBIs almost every single season. His batting average is very good. His OPS plus is very good. He gives you a lot of play appearances. Last season, he didn't play his full season. He's usually like around 158, 159 games. He only played 143 games last season. So right now, his average draft position is number 8. So he's going in the first round. So if you're in a points league or a category league, I would draft him regardless, because he does give you the high average. He does give you a lot of runs, a lot of home runs, a lot of RBIs, and does give you those stolen bases. Because like I said, stolen bases are a premium, especially if you're in a category league. I would draft somebody that gives you stolen bases, unless if Arenado is available or someone like that gives you like almost everything besides stolen bases. Francisco Lindor, he's a very good player. I would pick him up regardless, unless someone else is better than him that's already available, because Francisco Lindor is a 5-tool player. He does give you defense and also offense. You don't really care about the defense anymore, but in fantasy baseball, just because unless it's like a points league and it's like -1 for errors. So Francisco Lindor fills out every single category: the batting average, the runs, the hits, the stolen bases, the home runs, the RBIs. He fills out every single stat sheet that you can imagine in your fantasy baseball season. So let me know down in the comment section below, how was your list compared to mine? Did you have the same top 10 players? Was the order the same, or did you switch around the players as well? You can always follow me at Twitter, TheBrettBurnz, also Instagram, TheBrettBurnz. I do have my Facebook back. I also have the Patreon, so it's only $2 a month, and every single video you do get a shout out at the end of my video. I still have the t-shirts. Those links will be in the description below. If you do enjoy this type of video, leave a like, pass along these videos. It really helps me grow, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace, guys. Thank you. Bye.
What you gonna do? What you gonna do? What you gonna do? What you gonna do? This is just one step. This is just one step. can never ever find the right words. And there's no way this is real life. There's no telling you're the right girl. So I can only say that it feels right. It feels right, it feels right. Yeah, I can only say that it feels right. It feels right, it feels right. Yeah, I can only say that it feels right. So right. I'm just going with the gut. Never had a doubt, felt like this is just a must. Put me in perspective, I'm the deepest in the cut. Everybody tuning in, but this is just for us now.